Everybody, how you doing out there in the YTPC? And like I said in the title, 10 opening, Peterson of Dublin's Sunset Breeze. Let's read a little bit on the back, shall we? Well, I'll read you what's on the front. First says, sorry about the dead air. Peterson of Dublin Sunset Breeze. This blend is comprised of the highest quality Virginia, Burley, and Black Cavendish tobaccos. 5 grain. Let's see what's the tobacco. The back of it says. Oh, it's just a warning. Okay. You know, I noticed that they're starting to go from these type of warnings to like a big label warning right here, as which I think is stupid. Very stupid. At least that's my opinion. Anyways, we're going to crack this bad boy open and we're going to see what it's about. Alright. As always, I take my handy dandy little check tool right here and I take it where the little crease is, right there in the tin. I gently push her up and lift until I hear that psst opening sound. Just like so. And just gently open it, lift, and there we go. It's cracked. I can't wait. Oh my goodness gracious. This is mighty fine smelling. Smells just like the description I read about it. It has an amaretto smell and it smells divine. Very, very divine. Let's open her up here and see what she looks like here. One thing I'm going to say is you can see a little discoloration on the paper there. This tobacco has been aging and aged pretty good in the tin. Now, I don't know how to really find out when this actual tin had been, uh, you know, tinned up or anything, but ain't that beautiful? Let's see here. Or look at that. Look at all that fine looking tobacco. Wow, looks like there's large leaves in it, as well as small ribbon cuts. That just looks absolutely beautiful, folks. Look at that. You can see everything in it. This is beautiful. It's also moist, so I can tell that this is going to be one that is going to need to be relit a few times. I'm going to try to get some of that excess tobacco off of the little paper here. This has the same coloration as almost Colt Blood Red Moon. Almost looks like the same type of consistency almost, but not quite. Yeah, look on to the paper there. Ain't that something? You can tell this tobacco's been aging pretty good inside that tin, and it smells immaculate. Makes me wish I had some amaretto coffee creamer. Go with my coffee this morning or this afternoon. This afternoon. Anyhow, I had just spent a little time cleaning my favorite aromatic pipe. Yep, the one that was given to me by Bremen Pipe Smoker. If you ain't seen his channel, go check him out. And it is a filtered pipe, and I just got done cleaning it a little bit ago, and so I'll just put it together for you. Here. Pretty sure it's on going straight. That's a hard thing I have trouble with, is being sure I'm putting them on straight. Back together. Yep. Now let's commence to filling up the pipe. I probably shouldn't fill it all the way up because on kind of the moisture that's going to be in this tobacco from lack of it not being allowed to dry. So I try not to fill it too much or pack it in too tight. And then, like I learned from watching board game or pipe smoking board gamer, how he says take your thumb, kind of give it a little twist, you know, to give it a bit of a better even smoke. I like that technique. I like it a lot, especially with the Virginias I've found that I have tried. I'm sorry, but I love that smell. If this was a cologne, I would wear it daily. People would get tired of smelling amaretto. And still look at this tobacco in here. Ain't that just beautiful? Give a good dry draw. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good chooching. Oh, now find a lighter. Got my handy dandy lighter. I have somewhere in this house misplaced my matches, and in all honesty, I do not like lighting this pipe with a lighter, to be quite honest with you all. Mostly because I don't want to char it, and I found that I have better aim with a match. But I do not know where my matches have went to, so we're using a lighter today. Being a bit of a moist tobacco, it sure didn't light up pretty well in the char light. Still a little bit lit, look at that. Ain't that something? Get that big old piece of tobacco in there. It tastes, smells just like it up and should as it describes in the package. All except I detect almost a similarity. Just a slight, not full on, but just a slight, same similar hint as to what just a slight similarity to what Crunchy Blend is like for the Falwyn tobacco. It's sweet. You can taste it. It's very sweet. very amaretto flavor. Let's see how it tastes with my regular old coffee here. And it went out, but that's because the tobacco is still moist and I had time to dry out. I love the retrohale on this. This is a tobacco that I really enjoy retrohaling, and I'm not much of a retrohaler. Sometimes when you're smoking like a still wet tobacco, I've learned on my own personal experience, there might be a better way of doing this, but I found sometimes if you kind of, I don't think I'm doing it right, but like if you go to Mutton Chop Piper's videos, he talks about the breathing method of breathing through the pipe a little bit. Well, sometimes when you're smoking a bit of a still damp tobacco that's not damp, but you know, needed to dry out a little bit, sometimes you kind of take in the smoke like this. And kind of breathe it through the pipe and everything, and it kind of helps keep that ember lit a little bit. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for the thumbs up. I hope you're having a great, wonderful day wherever you're at in this world. Gotta adjust something here. There's a mighty fine blend here. I'll fold my tin back up. I think they almost come close to over packing this tin. I'm hoping that this payday's good because I got something I've been wanting to send out, but didn't have enough money to do so. So I'm hoping to send a package out to somebody out there in the YTPC that I've been aiming to send out, but just lack of money. Hopefully this payday's good. I ain't never sent a package before. I've sent packages. Well, I take it back. I had help sending a package one time, but I didn't really pay that much attention to like the process because I was with someone else that was doing it. So I'm hoping I do everything right and it gets where it needs to go. You might be wondering why I'm keep going on with this live feed here after introducing the tobacco and light is because I ain't never had this before. I like y'all to come along on the ride with me for it. And if you've ever tried Peterson of Dublin Sunset Breeze, let me know what your experiences are with it and whether you liked it or not. And if you got any suggestions and tips on how to smoke it good to get the best flavors out of it. Say I've been watching a few of the videos by a young fella, and for some reason now I have forgotten the name of his channel. But Old Berg gave a shout out to him, and he's a really bright young man. And I gave a shout out to him on my last video. Me and him was talking back and forth on the live feed. So I can't remember names, and I do apologize because on account of my dyslexia, it's hard for me to remember things. That's also why I never try to really script nothing, because I up and probably wouldn't remember half of what I'd script anyways. However, one time I was going to help a cousin out with some awareness that she had concerns about a lake around where she lived at. And I was going to pay a guy I knew that done some writing to just write me out a small little skit kind of thing, you know. Not skit, but, you know, script. So to help me stay focused on point, you know, and be more contained to the current subject and help me not veer off as a public awareness for what her little cause was. But then she told me that she did not want me to do something like that, and so I never did. I you know something, I wish there was like a nearby pipe meetup where I lived at. Because I think it'd be cool to get together with other pipers. Me and old Mr. Cowboy have been talking. He connected with me on the Facebook, and we've been talking. And I can't remember where he lives at, but he lives in the same state, and he says I'm not too far away, and said that maybe sometime we might have a meetup, as which that'd be cool. It'd be awesome if him and I could make a video together, either for his channel or my channel, or both. But that'd be real cool if that happened. Be able to meet somebody from the YTPC, you know, in person. There's a fella out there lives over towards Chicago I'd like to meet. I ain't subbed to him very long, and he ain't subbed to me very long, but I just love his demeanor on his videos, and that's Mr. John Laughlin, aka Big John. I think he'd be real cool to meet. As far as like distance, I think he's probably the closest YTPC member to me now. And then I think the closest to me when I lived in Kentucky was Mutton Chop Piper. Because I lived in Alexandria, Kentucky, and I think he lived more further down towards far eastern part, if I remember right. I can't remember exactly in the little area that he said he lived in, but like there was one day I remember he said he was going to Ohio to the Renaissance Fair, and I actually almost went that exact same day. And I thought to myself, if I would have had the money to have gone, I could have met Mutton Chop Piper. But that's if my anxiety didn't get to me, and you know, the whole thing of like, you know, I'm not worthy kind of thing, you know. It'd be like meeting Matches, you know, or Mr. Derek Tank. You know, I'd be kind of nervous. I would think it would be pretty cool to go over to old Germany and meet old Mark, the Bremen pipe smoker. I like him too. He's pretty good. Somebody else that I would like to meet, I really would like to meet them because I admire their wisdom. I admire the advice they give. I just admire, there is not one complaint I could give. And even if I had to give a complaint, it would not be a true complaint. It would be a falsehood lie if if I was forced into having to give a complaint. Well, that's Mr. George Bruno, the Gray Bailey channel, aka the Sultan of Silver. That guy I would definitely like to meet. It might sound crazy, but kind of like in my eyes, the way he does his channel and all the things he does, meeting him in person would be almost the same as if I was standing next to Ozzy with or without Black Sabbath, and or meeting Alice Cooper or meeting Rob Zombie, or you know, someone famous like that. You know, would be kind of like how that would be for me to meet him. Now, some people might say, well, that's kind of exaggerated, isn't it? Nah, not really. He was one of the first few older, uh, older and elder folks to decide I was worth following. I chalk old Berg up to that same level too. I like Goldberg. I like everybody in the YTPC. There's not a one of yous I've not ran across that I didn't like. Just some I watch more than others. You know, I kind of hate it. One time, Matches done a video on this, and then someone else out there in the YTPC done a similar video based upon that about how once you get up or get past your first 100 subs and you sub them back, it's kind of hard to keep up with everybody. And I've noticed there are people that I haven't watched in a while, and I feel real bad, you know. But at the same time, I'm sure everybody out there in the YTPC understands that. Sometimes I like to watch nature videos. And there's one guy I've been watching, and I cannot remember how to pronounce his last name, to be honest with you. But his first name's Brian, and him and his wife run BHB Reptiles, and they got snakes and for sale and leopard geckos and all sorts of other reptiles, you know, and they're from up there in Michigan. And I like watching his channel called the Blog. And he also has another thing called Snakebite TV. And he was also featured on some Animal Planet or some, is there an Animal Planet or Discovery Channel program about rounding up poisonous snakes, you know, to make anti-venom? But I got a friend whose sister had actually met that guy, and I think it'd be cool to meet him too. But I tell you what, though, I think it'd be a fun video if I ever could meet that guy. Cause see, I like snakes. I just don't like them up close. I just wonder how I would be if I was to meet his big old giant pythons. I think I'd feel more comfortable if I held his alligator RJ, and that thing has a bigger mouth. I just can't remember what part of Michigan they're located on, but if you go to their website, BHB Reptiles, you all see who I'm talking about. And no, I'm not paid to say this stuff. It's just stuff that I've watched. And then there's another channel that's like non-populated that I like. I like watching a lot of things. I like watching cooking shows. There's a channel that I'm not watching in a while, and I feel bad about that. And that's the Cooking with Jack channel. And he also has another channel, like technology, being up to date with technology. He has another channel called Tech Time. This is some good chooching. I'm gonna say I'm probably about middle here, and it's some fine chooching. I made two small goals for myself today, and I think one of them is only going to get done. I try to follow that example, that Mr. George Bruno talks about. You got to set goals, Well, I made two small goals. The first one I made attempts at, and I still ain't got nowhere because I've been trying to call a number to get a hold of some people to get some information and stuff about stuff that could possibly help me out, and I can't seem to get a hold of nobody. And my second goal is stuff that I'm not great at, being a bachelor man and all, and that's housework. I hate doing dishes, but I got dishes to do, and that's my small goal for the day. Especially since I got 2 days off. This is gonna sound crazy, but if you kind of like me and you're on a small budget, you get paid pretty much, you live in paycheck to paycheck, and you're looking for jars to jar up your tobacco in, um, save your jam jars, your salsa jars, your spaghetti jars, save them up and clean them out real good. And also, I recommend boiling them, just to be sure that you pretty much kill any possible contaminating smell or flavor, and recycle them for your tobacco. Because it's awesome to recycle things, save a buck. I'll show you something else I've done. Of course, I'm sure everybody's done this. Look at that. I turned an old olive jar into a pen holder, and check this out. Same similar jar, I used it to hold paint thinner for when I'm painting. Ain't that something? Resourceful. If you look in the background here of the video, right there in the background on the air conditioner up there, you see I got two bottles part of decor. That's because there are two types of beers I had never tried before until the recent. Of course, also it probably looks a little sacrilegious having a cross that close too. But even the Lord drank wine, that is, but not to get drunk. If I remember reading my Bible right. Just be on the safe side. Don't quote me. Read it for yourself. Still the same flavor on the retrohale, even halfway through the bowl. It has not lost its flavor once. I am going to say I like on the borderline tobaccos, and I can't remember now the fancy name that I learned a while back. If these are called what they call vapes or not, but I'd say this here tobacco is a good borderline aromatic and non-aromatic tobacco that is absolutely beautiful. And if you're like me and you like those borderline tobaccos that are one part aromatic and one part not aromatic, it is a tobacco I will recommend for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say to everybody out there, wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed. And I also like to say thank you for hitting like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for choosing to take a little bit of your time and spend a little time with me. And I thank each and every single one of you fans. And I thank all the future fans. I thank you to all the lurkers. Thank you to everybody. And thanks you to everybody that has stuck by me, stuck with me, and held in there for me and with me. May you all be tremendously blessed. Thank you, and have a great, wonderful day.